I'm sorry, who are you guys again? Who? Peter Parker?
Never heard of him.
Are you sure? It seems very familiar. It seems like you were once on the Beyond the Film podcast. How's it going, gentlemen?
No, I think that would work for me because I think I've been on here once before.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe twice.
The man that shows up every once in a while.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
I'm like Mysterio. I might be here, might not.
Oh, I thought it was going to be because you have a seething hatred for Tony Stark.
I mean, yeah, I do. I don't like that guy. His mustache is too nice.
We are totally
too nice.
We are totally fully ready for this and not doing this last minute while Tyler's up north and me and Justin just got done repairing a deck outside. And I'm wearing a shirt that says it's official, I'm the favorite son-in-law. So this was not a last minute thing.
Oh, that's cute. Did you buy yourself that?
No, actually, my father and mother-in-law bought us both one.
Oh, that's very cute.
It did not go well when I opened mine first and then Ryan opened his.
Oh, that's very sweet.
Yeah.
That's actually really funny. I didn't think about the fact that you would both be son-in-laws in that family. So
yeah, it is true.
Great. All right. So that was Beyond the Deck Building podcast.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So, gentlemen, we're here to talk about Spider-Man. Is it Brand New Day?
Brand New Day.
Yeah.
Brand new something,
honestly,
sure.
all of the subtitles for the Spider-Man movies, like, you could mix them up. Like,
Mix
it
them into
doesn't
one
really
word.
matter.
And
like,
now we've moved away from home related names.
Yes.
Okay, you could tell this is a different feel because even the ending isn't all animated like the other three were. Like, this is showing actual footage of people in New York. Like,
yeah,
they tried their hardest to make this seem like this is not the home movies, the home trilogy, I should say.
Yeah, no. So this is following 3 other Spider-Man films in which, spoiler alert if you haven't seen the one before, but Spider-Man decides to enter a world where everybody forgets him for reasons that I don't quite remember. And we now get Peter Parker dealing with the after effects of not being remembered by his girlfriend and best friend, and what that does to him emotionally while facing a new and ever dangerous threat. And I think we should just start off here. I'm going to find it very difficult to talk about specific things with this movie without talking about spoilers. Do you guys agree?
I agree.
Yeah. So, if you guys, maybe we just start really quick by saying if we like the film or not, and then I think we go into a more fledged discussion where we discuss spoilers. Does that sound good to you guys?
Yeah, that sounds great.
All right, perfect. So just in general, Justin, let's start with you. What did you think of Spider-Man: A Brand New Day?
I mean, I enjoyed it. I definitely think it's one of the better Tom Holland films. I don't know where I would put it ranking-wise after I just did watch all 10 Spider-Man movies. So I don't know where I would put that yet, but I definitely think this is one of the better Holland ones of the trilogy. So I enjoyed it.
Ryan?
Let's start from scratch here. Since the last podcast, essentially the last podcast, since the last time we talked about it, I have marveled. All right. I have marveled. Why didn't you guys tell me about this Marvel stuff, dude? Like,
if you guys have been following Ryan on Letterboxd, that man has been on like a Marvel freaking train, dude.
I would say the past 2 to 3 weeks, I've watched about like 9/10 of all of the Marvel movies. I think I've got very few left, and they're all kind of like side spin-offs. Tyler loves the order I'm watching them in, too. I'm watching them by random series.
Hold on. Yeah, hold on. Tell the people how you are watching these movies, because there are generally accepted 2 ways you could watch the Marvel movies. You could either watch them in release order, whereas like you start from Iron Man and then you work your way through Spider-Man: Brand New Day, or you could start in chronological order, in which you would start with something like Captain America: The First Avenger and then go into like Captain Marvel, right? But yeah. Ryan's watching it in the most stupid way possible. How are you watching it, Ryan?
Okay, so, I started with the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, because I've already seen the Tobey Maguire and the Andrew Garfields, but those aren't, like, MCU until, like, recent.
They've been retconned into the MCU.
Yeah. So I started with the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, and I watched the 3 of those. This was before Brand New Day came out. And then I watched the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, but I only watched Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2 because then I went into the Avengers movies and I watched Avengers, Avengers 2, Avengers 3, and then Endgame. And then I watched Guardians of the Galaxy 3 because that made the most sense. And then when I was done with Guardians of the Galaxy 3,
Keyword.
I moved.
That made the most sense.
I moved on to the next logical one, and I did Captain America 1, and then I did Captain America 2, and then I watched Thor 1, and then I watched Thor 2, and then I watched Thor 3, and then I went back and watched Captain America 3. And it's been like little off and ons. I forget where I go. Oh, and then I did Doctor Strange 1 and 2, which made total sense at that point in time to do. I know Tyler really, really likes the Edward Norton Incredible Hulk, but I haven't seen that one yet.
I actually have not seen that one either. That's the only MCU film I have not seen.
Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I've been kind of just like taking a series and been like, I want to watch this series now, and just kind of like filling in the blanks of what I'm missing in between. But it's getting to a point where I've seen so many now where I go, oh, that's why. That's a Tesseract. You know what I mean?
It's almost like if you watched them in order, you would have gotten it.
I think I spent probably like 70 to 80% of my time watching movies going, what the hell is a Tesseract? It keeps coming up, man.
So let him know how dumb he is down in the comments below. Right after you like, subscribe, and share this podcast with a friend.
I am. So anyways, going back to the important part.
Yeah.
Now that I am hyperactively into Marvel, and I like the comic books now. My brother's got me watching like comic book stories online and everything. Brand New Day is all right. I wouldn't say that it's my favorite of the Holland movies. I feel like it does have some major flaws in it, specifically with. I feel like we start a storyline and we don't finish a single storyline within the movie. I feel like, oh man, we're in spoiler territory right now, right? Just want to triple check.
Well, let me just give a brief rundown of the film before
I didn't
jump
go
into
into
there.
anything.
Well, so that's my major problem. I gave it about a 3.5. I think it's pretty equal to the other movies in the series. I wouldn't say that it's any better or any worse than some of the other ones. Go ahead, Tyler.
Yeah, Ryan, I think I agree with you more than I agree with Justin. I think I would say I'm like mixed positive on this movie, where like I know a lot of people are saying it's like it's the best Marvel movie in a decade. It's the best Spider-Man movie, and I'm just like, I don't really feel that, because in a lot of ways, like, yes, I like a lot of what this movie's putting down, especially when it comes to like the Spider-Man stuff itself. I thought this movie did a lot of really clever stuff with like POV shots in Spider-Man that you didn't really see in those other movies that I thought was really cool. Some of the story decisions, and especially when it comes to the villain, really bother me. And it ultimately comes down to, before we get into the spoilers, this idea that all of these Spider-Man movies, the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, so from Homecoming to now, he's always kind of felt like second fiddle in his own movie to, whether it be a villain, whether it be Tony Stark, whether it be someone else that we'll talk about in just a few moments. But Tom Holland has never really had the opportunity to carry a movie on its own. And I think part of the problem is just because these films are so centered within the MCU that they feel like they can't really just give just a fun, singular Spider-Man movie. They always have to be adding on to the MCU in some way. And with Spider-Man being such a legendary character with so many great villains, that really frustrates me a lot. And that's more of a complaint with all of these movies, not just this one specifically. But yeah, this one kind of carries it on.
I actually want to counter and say that is Marvel's way. Like, watching all these Marvel movies back to back. Oh, we can't do another Thor movie. Let's throw Hulk in there. Oh, we can't do another Doctor Strange movie. Let's have it mostly be about Scarlet Witch, actually. Like, all of these. And I don't think that's a fault of Marvel. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's a way to force people to be like, I really like Thor. Let's get him to like Scarlet Witch.
But
you know what I mean?
But you could also say that like Thor at least got Thor 1, right? Like he got a movie specifically dedicated to Thor. Doctor Strange specifically got a movie dedicated to Doctor Strange. Spider-Man hasn't really gotten that in the MCU.
But we did 2 previous series of dedicating to Spider-Man that I don't think they wanted to do another one of those.
But at the time, those weren't part of the MCU, right?
They
like
weren't,
you got it.
But it's something we'd seen many times. Like, and not just from like the live action movies. We've seen 57 cartoon series of it. We've seen the Tom Holland or the the stage play I saw as a kid. Like literally, like
I think I remember that stage play.
I did go to that.
Yeah, no. So my problem is that like you're not wrong, Ryan. Like we're not disagreeing here.
Yeah.
Right. But like the problem for me is like with that first movie, right? Like it. Even though it's called Spider-Man Homecoming, you could argue that it's just as much of a Tony Stark movie as it is like even the first two Spider-Man movies with Homecoming and Far From Home. The villains are more Tony Stark villains than Spider-Man villains. They reworked Mysterio into being a Tony Stark villain than a Spider-Man villain. Like that's frustrating.
Spin-offs from Iron Man.
Yeah. And you know the third movie, like Holland kind of plays back fiddle to Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield returning, right? The biggest part of that third movie is nostalgia coming back, right? Now,
I've got something to counter. I want to counter what you say, but I want us to move into spoiler territory.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to hear anything else.
Spoiler territory, we are here.
Because we've talked over Justin a couple times now, so I want to make sure Justin says what he needs to say before we move into spoiler territory.
Go ahead, Justin.
No, I'm just saying I agree. Like, even like what Ryan said, like I feel like even in those movies where a character is sharing a movie with somebody, they're still the center focus. Like Captain America is still the center focus in the first two movies, like especially that second one where it builds off into Shield, and then you got Scarlet Witch and all of them. He's still the center focus, and even in Civil War, he's still a main focus. Like yes, it's him and Iron Man, but he's not second fiddle to anybody like Spider-Man is. Spider-Man is, you know, the sidekick to Tony Stark in the first one. The second one, it's Tony Stark again. Even in the third one, he's still Tony Stark because they're saying, are you going to be the new Iron Man?
He's dealing with the after effects of Tony Stark's death,
exactly.
right? Like,
and then you get all three, of them together, and it's still the other guys. You know, he's got to fix their villains. Like, there's none of his villains there. It's all of their villains essentially on that one. So
well, and then like Tom Holland has really come into his own in this character, right? He is now Tony Stark, like with the computer lab that he could somehow afford on the top of a New York apartment.
Exactly.
Like he's now fully him. And yet still, the film makes a very, very odd choice to make the main villain of this movie Jean Grey, of all people. Yeah, like a character that has mostly been renowned, I mean, other than the Dark Phoenix stuff, has mostly been renowned as a hero. And you could argue that while that's an interesting take, is a weird way to introduce the X-Men into this universe, which I have a problem with, by the way. I think Sadie Sink's too young to play the character. Because if they're going to do an X-Men movie, is she going to be in love with like Kid Wolverine or like Kid Cyclops, right? Like, so like
I think you should have said spoilers from now on before you said that.
We already said we were into spoilers, I thought.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we said we were going into spoiler territory.
He's like, okay. Spoiler territory, right?
Yeah, so the movie decides to essentially make the main problem of the movie centered around Jean Grey trying to find her sister. And then the last third of this movie, it once again, a Spider-Man movie feels very much like a Jean Grey movie. I feel like they're so excited to get the X-Men part back that they basically just shoehorned an X-Men character in here to get us all hyped at the expense of Spider-Man. It very much feels like one of my biggest problems with Civil War is that it's very much not a Captain America movie. It is very much like a mini Avengers, right?
Avengers
here, it very much feels like a mini MCU movie rather than a Spider-Man movie.
Especially that second half, like at the ending, it was definitely her.
The last third of the movie, man, like
everything. Like we were dealing with Spider-Man, dealing with his emotions and how they're affecting his powers, and then all of a sudden it's let's talk about Jean Grey and why she's looking for her sister now all of a sudden. Like, I really thought, like, okay, is the movie over? I feel like we're missing stuff here. And then all of a sudden it kept going. I'm like, oh, we're doing Jean Grey's story now all of a sudden.
And that's not the first half of this movie. I think the first half of this movie is really good. It's when it decides to be the Jean Grey story that I'm like, okay, why are we doing this in a Spider-Man movie?
Yeah.
Like, go ahead, Ryan.
No, I agree with you guys. I'm just confused going back. Now, mind you, I haven't hit my X-Men movies. I have all 14 of those to watch. Wasn't there a different... I don't think Jean Grey was a romance to Wolverine, was he?
So in the cartoons and in the comics, there's like a love triangle between Jean Grey. Wolverine really likes Jean Grey, but I don't think Jean Grey likes him as much as he likes her. And then I think Jean Grey and Cyclops are a thing.
Yeah, it's like
so there's like a love triangle aspect between them.
And they do like go towards it somewhat in the movies, but you can definitely tell it is a one-sided thing.
The other chick that, like, if she touches somebody, she dies, but she can touch Wolverine. Yeah.
Rogue, yeah.
I mean, she's more of a Gambit girl.
Whatever.
Yes.
Whatever, man. I'll X-Men after I Marvel.
But
that's
like
the Fox universe still.
But like, say what you will about, I am very much not a fan of those Andrew Garfield movies. At the very least, because and maybe this is just because Sony was like desperately grasping onto the Spider-Man IP, they at least felt very much like their own centralized Spider-Man stories, right? They could be messy, like with that second one, or like with the third Raimi film, right? But at least they felt like the whole movie was caring about who Peter Parker was as a villain, not who he is within the scope of the MCU.
Well, that's because they're not Spider-Man movies anymore. We have the MCU to worry about. Like, the MCU has progressed to a point where when you're seeing an MCU movie, I didn't expect a hint towards a Spider-Man movie as the after credits. I truly expected them to show a hint towards the new X-Men movie because we haven't seen anything.
And I mean, maybe that's why I'm burned out of the MCU, right? Because like phase 1 of the MCU, like, you got an Iron Man movie that was very much about Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, right? And then they teamed up in the Avengers. And then probably after that, it's like, we need to always be working within that universe, right? Yeah. But that comes at the expense of your characters, right? The only reason the Avengers and phase 1 of Marvel works so well is because you spent not parts of movies, but whole movies building up and making us care about these characters, and then you smash them together. That's what works. And like, maybe we're just getting away from that. One of my biggest problems with Marvel is that so many of the movies feel like B+ action movies, and rarely do we get like A+ in this series, which isn't a bad thing, right? There's nothing wrong with B+, but in a franchise that makes billions of dollars, you at least want a couple home runs every once in a while, and a movie that's being celebrated as a home run for Marvel doesn't really feel that way to me.
What I'm being nervous about is, mind you, I have not watched Thunderbolts yet, but what's her name, Yelena? The girl from Spider-Man? She's very funny in Spider-Man. She's very funny. I have not seen Thunderbolts yet with the rest of them. I've seen David Harbour play Alexei in Marvel Zombies, and that was fine.
That stuff's good, right? Like the Yelena stuff, the Punisher stuff, like minor characters, that's fine. But
what I'm getting at is can this group of people that we have confirmed so far, we've got that group of people, the Thunderbolts, we've got the Fantastic Four, the new with Pedro Pascal, we've got no Tom Holland confirmed for Doomsday. Like, with this group of people,
he said he'll return.
He didn't say Doomsday. It could be Secret
true,
Wars.
I guess.
Do we have a good enough cast for an Avengers movie to throw Thor in there? Like, we got a Star-Lord will return. Will we get Star-Lord Chris Pratt, or will we get Star-Lord different universe Star-Lord?
Don't get me wrong. Believe me, I am very much not going into Doomsday super psyched. I'm going into Doomsday hoping to be wowed and expecting to be let down.
I've got my fingers crossed. I've got every finger crossed that we're going into like Secret Wars, like Battle Planet Secret Wars. I think that'll be awesome if they do that. But like, I just don't know. I don't know if I like this group of people enough to be like, awesome, it's an Avengers movie.
Yeah, I mean, I really wish Disney would just be like, you know what? I think we've run our course here. Let's find a way to wind this down.
Well, and I think that's what they're planning on doing. I think that they said that this will end the multiverse and this will like go all into one specific universe, which makes me think Battle Planet. And I wish we would get to a point where we maybe even recast some of the heroes and bring back normal heroes.
Yeah, I mean, this is very much now getting into a whole Marvel discussion rather than just a Spider-Man.
I'm new to Marvel. Let me Marvel.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Like,
what Marvel's doing to him, he's a sidetrack into our conversation.
Yeah,
exactly.
Maybe we do a whole other episode where we talk about our
we're getting along here. It's already 20 minutes. I agree. Yeah. Going back though, like the whole Jean Grey thing, like that's essentially what I'm getting at. Is we're not doing a Spider-Man movie. We're introducing a new character so that we can further the Marvel universe. And I agree with you totally that Spider-Man's always been the fault of that because while I think that Tom Holland is probably the best Spider-Man out of like the people at playing Spider-Man, and he is probably one of the better Peter Parkers. He doesn't really have the ability to carry a movie fully by himself as Spider-Man. He is relying a lot on his friends and his other.
But they never gave him a shot. That's
No,
the problem.
I agree. It's not his fault.
Yeah.
He can do it.
Yeah.
It's just the writing of the character is not written well enough for him to be able to do that for the movie himself.
Yeah.
And
that's totally not his fault.
Yeah, I would understand if it was like a hero that many people don't know, like maybe Nova or something, but it's Spider-Man. We all know Spider-Man. Let him do his thing. Like, yeah, sure, you could throw Punisher in there as like a side character, but it needs to be Spider-Man. Nobody else's movie but his. Like,
yeah.
It'd be one thing if it was since like Spider-Man, but it is him. He could sell it just on the name alone.
Right.
But I'll be honest, Justin, like, Punisher was great in this movie. It was a great addition. Spider-Man and him are very funny together. But, like, adding a hero like that leans more towards, like, why didn't we just add Punisher into the Ghost Rider movie? Like, that would have made a better fit crossover.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great option for the season 4 of What If that ever happens. But yeah, man. Like, so what did you guys think of the Jean Grey storyline? Because I don't know if I'm I just didn't really vibe with it, man. Like I just like, if that's our introduction to X-Men in the MCU, I don't know if I'm super psyched for X-Men in the MCU. Like, Sadie Sink's a fine actress, but like maybe it's just because I associate her too much as a young kid in Stranger Things that it's very hard to see her as the mature, like battle tested Jean Grey. You know,
I mean, she's in her 20s already now.
I know, and it's you know, it's.
And we're also getting younger with these Jean Greys. We already went through older Jean Grey. We already went through high school ass age of Jean Grey, and now we're going even younger with Jean Grey. Like, where do we stop at the point where we're just like, okay, this is where we're going to start with Jean Grey, and then all the X-Men characters are going to be like, we haven't even established the school yet, so she's not even anywhere near involved in that at all. Like, we don't have any other X-Men to connect with her. We haven't even talked about mutants because we weren't even allowed to talk about it in Marvel because they didn't have the rights to even call anybody a mutant yet. So, I mean, when do these people just start appearing just out of randomness? And also,
Justin, that's my biggest complaint. Justin is what this movie should have ended. The after credits should not have been what we saw. The after credits for this movie should have been them introducing the new Professor Xavier, because Patrick Stewart has already said that once Doomsday is done, he will not be acting anymore at all whatsoever. He is done with acting. We should have introduced a new Professor Xavier, and it should have introduced the new X-Men movie. It should have been the new guy sitting in his chair being like, Jean Grey, I've got a place for you to go.
You don't even need to. Just bring in James McAvoy, right? Yeah. Like, he was already him in First Class, right? Just bring in the First Class people. That's fine. Like you don't need to bring in the 2000s X-Men. Or yeah, honestly, I think at this point, I think you just need a complete refresh.
Yeah,
that's what they say they're doing, but like...
which is fine. I'm better off for that. What do you guys like? So, any other thoughts on Spider-Man itself? Brand New Day.
No, it's fine.
I thought the action was a little bit better because it actually felt like he was there. It wasn't him in a metal suit or him wearing one of those CG suits. It felt like he was wearing a real suit and he was in those scenes, like at those moments. And even watching him jump off the buildings, you could see the ripples in the shirt. Like, it felt like he actually made his suit. Granted, yes, he was using computers, but every other Spider-Man movie we got, he did not make his own suit. It was all provided by Tony Stark or Tony Stark Tech. It wasn't until the last one where he finally saw him sewing his suit. And like, that's my biggest gripe with these Holland movies, is that his suits were always given to him. He never had to rely on him making his own suits, other than his first one that we got. But I mean, you get Toby making his suit, you get Andrew making their suit, you see them adjusting it, making it to working their ways. But even then, like, even in this one, you still get a Tony Stark-esque way, as you have Evie in his ear. Like, he's supposed to be trusting his senses. That's what Far From Home should have been about, is him trusting his senses and him just worrying about him doing it, not the suit making him Spider-Man. He is Spider-Man. The suit isn't there to make him that. It's here to cover his identity and help him in any other, like, situations. Like, he shouldn't be relying on tech doing this and this and this. Like, I like that we got to see that he is smart and he can build his own stuff, but I don't need a headset. I only think of that as Tony Stark. I don't think of that as Spider-Man at all.
Yeah, totally fair.
I'll be honest. Tony Stark Spider-Man's my favorite Spider-Man. I actually really dig that storyline.
No, that's perfectly acceptable. And once again, Holland's always been good here, but I truly think this is his best work as Spider-Man. Like easily. Like it's the most. He has the most to do emotionally and acting wise. Like Zendaya's really good in here as well. Ned unfortunately takes a bit of a backseat, which is kind of sad. But yeah, I mean, like there's so much good Spider-Man here that it's a shame that the second half of the movie just is like, we're gonna do an X-Men thing now.
Yeah.
Like, well, I got one more thing to put in. I'm sorry, I know I've been talking.
No. That's fine. We'll wrap it up after.
Yeah. So we've got all of the villains that are portrayed throughout the commercials all take a backseat pretty much. You've got Scorpions in the movie for maybe a minute. You've got the hand was huge. Everybody's like, oh, the hand's gonna be in it. I think there's one fight scene with the hand. There is like it's
Tombstone.
Tombstone was shown for 10 seconds maybe. But you've got that. You've got Spider-Man just being Spider-Man. Like, I agree with you. It is his best acting. What I think is really cool, though, that they added was almost every one of the fight scenes was shot for shot a comic book cover. Like, I've seen people put the comic book covers next to the fight scene, and they actually specifically went through and reenacted live-action comic book fight scenes.
I don't have a problem with that. That's fun.
I think that's the coolest thing. I think it's the coolest Easter eggs.
Yeah, because there was one where it was like the first ever Spider-Man comic, Amazing Fantasy 15.
No, like, this isn't me downgrading it. I think it's amazing. I think it's so cool. But I want to make sure to say that out loud before we forgot about that.
No, totally makes sense. All right. When would you guys recommend going to see Spider-Man Brand New Day?
It's a Marvel movie. See it in theaters. I think there's a difference. This is maybe my second Marvel movie in theaters.
No.
I wouldn't stay for the post credits though. I'd leave.
I would.
No, post credits are pointless.
Like, I think that it's important, and it'll get you ready for Battle Planet. Battle Planet. It means Battle Planet. If it's not Battle Planet, then I'm gonna be cry.
Well, yeah. I mean, I still got to look up what it even means. Like, I was kind of lost anyway. But
it's just saying that it's. Everybody said it's just going into the Avengers.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's either Tony, Andrew, or even Miles might be that reference.
Yeah, I think it's worth a theater showing too, but I think you can wait, like do a discount day or something, or wait till it's been out a while. I don't think it's like a must see right away kind of thing.
The woman next to me was bawling.
We had a pretty full crowd at Cinemark, yeah.
Yeah, same for us too. It was pretty full.
Justin, when should people go and see this movie?
In theaters.
Perfect.
Whenever.
Still good, but
I'm just saying,
it's got some issues
for the post credit. It's not worth
it.
What did you think about Spider-Man Brand New Day? Do you think it's worth seeing in theaters? Do you like that Spider-Man is taking a back seat to other aspects of the MCU? Let us know down below in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click bell for notifications, share with a friend, and most importantly, I'm not going to lie, when I said most importantly, had nothing.
I kind of figured because there was a long pause there.
I thought something clever would come to me, and it didn't.
I was like, he's got nothing.
Join us in about a month when I drag you guys to Endgame again, because I've never seen it in theaters.
It's a fun experience in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
For 7 whole extra minutes.
We'll do it.
Yep.
All right, later, everybody.
See ya.
See you guys.